Welcome back, art friends. It's Animal Week, and we are going to draw another animal together today, and this one is my personal favorite. It is the elephant. Isn't he a beautiful one? Yes, this is a nice carving that I got from my mother-in-law, and it is fantastic. So we have a little bit of an image for us to kind of get the elephant in our head. But not to worry, because we are going to draw our elephant in the style of artist Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali was a Spanish artist, and he was a big part of the Surrealist movement. Do you remember we talked about Surrealism when we talked about Juan Miró, right? And Surrealism is really this dreamy-like, kind of not realistic, very abstract, and really interesting art. So we're going to draw our elephant in his style, which means it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look really exactly like an elephant, but just some of the traits of an elephant. We will keep the trunk and the ears and all that. So I want to show you. Let's see if I can pull it up. You can check it out too. Dali's name is D-A-L-I. I'll put it up for you. But this painting he did in 1948, and let's see what you notice about the elephants. If you can see it, I know that's always very hard. Can you see, or does it actually kind of look like it's pulsing? You'll have to look it up, or I'll post it for you below the video. They have these long, spindly, skinny legs. And what do we know about elephants? They don't. They have these really big, like tree trunk kind of legs, right? So we're just going to get all dreamlike, and we're going to give our elephants these long, skinny legs today. All right, that'll be fun. So we are going to draw like Dali. We are going to not worry about having perfect lines. Everything's going to be a little bit shaky. If you look at his art, it's not smooth and kind of refined. It's actually very dreamy, I guess. So we're going to do that. You can draw it with pencil with me, and you might want an eraser. So that's the first thing we need besides the paper. And then I'm going to do mine in marker so you can see what I'm doing, okay? And then as far as coloring, anything you want. We're going to use our paper nice and tall or vertically so that we have lots of room for these long, skinny, spindly, surrealist legs, okay? So grab your supplies and then come on back, okay? All right, welcome back. So we're going to start our drawing at the side of our paper so we have lots of room. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go way over here to the left side, but feel free, those of you who are left-handed, you can go to the other side and start. I'm going to start with his forehead and his nice long trunk. So I'm going to start with kind of a diagonal line up near the top of my page, and like I said, off to the side, because the only thing that's going to go over here really is the trunk. All right, and then the trunk of our elephant is just kind of long, and it kind of goes in and out and in and out and around like a J. And this lesson is mainly for my older friends, upper elementary. It's a lot easier for you, but my lower elementary friends, you can draw the elephant with us and make skinny legs just the same. I know some of you are up for the challenge, and I hope you do it. All right, so I have his forehead and then this kind of curvy J shaped line. It's really a backwards J actually, but you know what I mean. All right, now I'm gonna also do the other side of his trunk. The other side, always at the bottom, it's a little thinner, so I'm just gonna add that little kind of curvy bump. And then I'm just going to go back up, and I'm going to follow this line. And as I get closer to his face, it'll get wider. All right, so I'm going to start narrow to wide. All right, so you can watch me first if you want to Don't worry if it's not perfect, if the line's kind of crooked or bumpy. It's okay. That is Dali's style, and we kind of want to just go with that style. Next, I'm going to make his little mouth under here, or chin. Again, Dali style. That one's a little horizontal with a curve going up for his jaw. Next, I'm going to do a little downward line where his earlobe starts, and I'm going to do that kind of wavy, and I'm going to come up and again be wavy. Notice that line is not smooth. The first time I practiced, I made it smooth because that's how I'm used to drawing elephants. You know, kind of, let's see, this is I-course marker. You know, kind of like this, right? With smooth lines. That's how I'm kind of used to drawing it. But I'm really, really trying to get a feel for how Salvador Dali was drawing. So I'm not trying to be smooth. I'm kind of trying to be a little bumpy and lumpy on this little elephant. All right, so now I'm going to draw the top of his head. It's also kind of bumpy, and actually in real life, elephants' heads are. So we're going to just add a little mound there, a little hill for the top of his head. And then this other ear on this side, I'm just going to make a curved kind of rainbow kind of line going down. All right? So now we have his head. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Actually, I'm going to put his eye opposite this diagonal line because that's really where it would be. That's the eye socket probably sticking out a little bit there. So I'm just going to kind of go up and down and give him this eye. And you can color it in if you want to, whatever you want to do. I'm going to color mine in. All right, so there's my eye. And if you want to, you can go along the trunk on all of these bumps. I'm going to add some little lines for detail. All right, so there we go. He looks pretty good so far. Now let's do his back. And it's going to kind of be a rainbow, like a curved line, like the round shape of, or the round line of the N. But it's not going to be a smooth line. Again, we're kind of staying with Dali style. We're just going to be bumpy. We're not going to worry. And it's going to go down pretty far and then stop. About as long as this trunk. But that's not really his back. That's going to be his tail. So from there, I'm going to add my little hair. You know how the rhino and the elephant kind of have that little tuft at the bottom of their tail. And real skinny like, I'm going to come back up. So you kind of has a bumpy, skinny tail. All right. Next, I am going to add his belly, or his chest right here under his mouth. So, and that's also a curved line, but it's going to, both his elephants had this like curved shape. So if you can imagine, instead of like the elephant like we know, well, I guess it kind of looks like that. See how this curve under his head comes down to his belly, this curve under from his back, under his bum, around to his belly. It does kind of curve toward there, toward the middle of his belly. So I guess it is kind of like that. I guess I always think of it more blocky, right? Like a tree. But we're going to make this one curve in toward the paper. We're going to make this side curve under his tail in toward the paper. So we have this one curving in, this one curving in. All right. Now I'm going to do the front leg because I think it's easiest if we can get that one done first. So this one is, he's walking, and he was in Dali's picture too, his painting also. So I'm going to start right next to this one. This is the front of his front leg, and it's just going to be kind of bumpy. It's not a big deal. I'm going to put on his knee, and then I'm going to have this long, super long, unrealistic, surrealistic leg. And then the back of that leg that's moving is over here, and it starts out like a normal elephant leg, but then it kind of gets like this, and it gets longer and skinnier. All right, we're gonna make this leg come on down long and skinny. These are so easy because they don't have to be right at all. There's no right or wrong. And wider and then down and skinny, 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 skinny. All right, so you kind of get the idea. All right, I'm gonna put on his belly and it's gonna be really the extension of this line under here. So I'm just gonna kind of make another bump for his belly. This leg back here, just gonna come down off the belly and straight down, kind of wiggly, bumpy. Same here, it's wider here and it just keeps getting skinny. It's almost like chewing gum, right? It just gets pulled and stretched, right? And then this back leg is just back here. I'm just gonna add a little line there and then come down this side. And here's the extension of that one and this side. So very skinny, kind of funny legs. All right. And I think he even had like these like knees or knuckles or something going on here. I don't know. You could add those if you want to, if you don't want to. You can decide. You can look it up and see. Ask your parents first. Google him. If you want to, you can give him little wrinkles under his eyes. All right. And then I'm just going to add a horizon line because then when I color, I know that the sky is here and the ground is here. You need some sort of line in the middle, but we don't want the line to cut his legs. We want the line behind his legs, all right? So I'm gonna make my horizon line have a little hill over here. Let's see how that goes. Just bumpy again, because that's kind of how he is. Maybe I'll make a little hill and another bump there, all right? But when I get to the leg, I stop. Go to the other side of the leg, I start. Touch a leg, stop. Go behind it, start. Touch a leg, stop. Go behind it, start. Touch a leg, stop. Go behind it again, and you're done. Now we just get to color it, all right? And you can color it any way you want. If you have paints, you can paint it. If you have colored pencil, you can do that too. His elephant had some kind of funny little building on the top. If you want to put something on top, you could do that too. It's totally up to you. But now you kind of have a feel for Salvador Dali. I signed my name. I hope you did that too. And I'm just going to use colored pencil. And the only thing I would remind my older art students is to remember and think about what would be the darkest. So if the light is coming from somewhere up here, where would be the darkest part of your elephant? Probably the belly. So maybe go darker down here with your colors. I'm just gonna kind of sketchy scribble right now until I have time to do that. Probably under the legs down here, right? No light's getting down there really. Under this leg here, same. And probably here, right? Some little shadows. So we're putting in the darkest colors here first, under his chin probably. We did this yesterday with the lower elementary. We added a little bit of shadow. It's called shading, right? When you add black to a color, you're making a shade of it. So there's a little more black in this gray than, for example, this gray. So this gray can go next to it, and you probably can't see there at home, but I'll take a better picture of this when I'm finished. So you can maybe play around with some darks and lights with your colored pencils. If you only have black and you're like, oh, how am I gonna do that? You could press harder and lighter, right? If you press light, you're gonna get light. If you press hard, it's gonna be much darker. So you could do that. Artists do that all the time. So I bet you could figure out ways to add dark and light, color your sky, color your ground, take a picture of it, and send it to me at iCourseC@mtcps.org, or you can send it to me or post it on my Glitter and Glue with Mrs. iCourse Facebook page. I would love to see your surrealist elephant. I hope you had fun and learned a little something today. about surrealist art and about Salvador Dali. And I will see you tomorrow with another fun animal project. All right? Bye, art friends.